Hello, welcome back, or welcome if you're new here. Today I got inspired by two of my favorite YouTubers, which are Celine from Heaven Sent Honey and Sierra O'Day, to basically talk about glamour. They both make videos, or some of their videos are related to the topic of glamour. And I feel like I've seen all over YouTube, and you probably have too, these types of videos that are like things that I find incredibly chic or things that I find extremely chic. And then I saw Celine's and Sierra's videos on glamour, and Sierra talks about how she wants people to embrace glamour instead of chicness. And I agree. I'll talk to you guys in a minute about both of their definitions on glamour. But yeah, I feel like I agree that I like glamour more than chicness, and I think we've lost a little bit of it in our culture. So without further ado, let's get into it. So Sierra's video is called Chic is Boring, Be Glamorous. And in it she says, with chicness, it's so broad. It's about an essence, and it's about the way you carry yourself, and it's about more of just like an effortlessness. But with glamour, there's intention. It's deliberate, it's over the top. It is about an essence and an aura. Chicness is a little bit more reserved. Glamour demands attention. It's gaudy, it's dramatic, it's fabulous, which I love. And Celine's definition for glamour, which is found on her video Challenge the Male Gaze with Glamour, is glamour in its truest, most timeless form is lifestyle or attitude that imbues a life with feminine mystique. It is the art of an elegant revolt, a kind of curated chaos, an aesthete's dream life. Glamour uses tools of deception and artifice, like makeup and fashion. Glamour confuses, excites, and changes the rules, like women wearing a tuxedo with fishnets and stilettos, or a shimmering silk gown. Glamour takes what is unpopular or strange and makes it exotic, like exaggerated features or oriental perfume. Glamour exercises falsehoods and encourages myth, like Marlene Dietrich owning an emerald the size of a small avocado, or Etta Barra's 100 marriage proposals. Throughout the video, she also says things like glamour is the door to the female playground. Glamour is the art of turning the male gaze back onto itself by exploiting it, by enjoying it. And glamour is a type of hyper femininity. Okay, so taking into account both Celine's and Sierra's definitions for glamour, the first thing that I find extremely glamorous, or more like the first person, but I would say like her whole like aesthetic and persona, is Addison Rae, which I'm very happy about because she is like the new pop star. At least I feel like the pop star that has like gained the most attention or notoriety in 2025, because we did have Chapel, Sabrina, and Charlie in 2024, of course. And now I feel like this is Addison's year for the most part. But yeah, with Addison's rise, I hope that we get more glamour in the culture, in the world. And I feel like Addison is sort of the opposite of a clean girl, which is like, thank God, right? And honestly, Chapel, Sabrina, and Charlie are also very much not clean girls. which I'm also very happy about. I could argue that the four of them are very glamorous. But specifically, I've been thinking about Addison Rae a lot. She has actually addressed sort of like the allegations that she's like a try-hard, or that she tries too hard.
Everybody's always like, oh, she's trying too hard this, she's trying. How about you try it all? We can tell you're not.
Oh! Gag.
And with Addison, there is this whole debate about whether this rebrand that she has had throughout all these years, you know, how she went from like TikTok star, TikToker, and now she's like an, I don't know if indie, but you know, like an alternative pop star, like hyper pop-ish pop star. About whether if it is authentic to her or not, and that in itself could be a whole video, right? Which I might do, I don't know. Let me know if you would like to see that. Yeah, like I don't think it's really fair to like say that her new style might not be authentic. First of all, because I think that she carries it really well. So if it wasn't authentic to her, she wouldn't be able to pull it off, in my opinion. But also, I don't think it's fair to say that about a person who is fairly young. I think that Addison is 23, 24. So when she started on TikTok, she was like really, really young, like 17 or 18, I'm not sure, but I think so. Something like that, you know. And I think it's completely natural for her to evolve and to, you know, be exploring with her style, and like be in the process of finding herself and her style, right? And I think it's also fair for anyone to take inspiration from other people or other things, and in that way realize that there's parts of you that you didn't know, or like, yeah, discover new parts of yourself through other things and other people. And don't get me wrong, I do know that a lot of her style is, like a good part of her style is influenced by other people, like for example Lexi Smith, who is her creative director, and I think her best friend, who is just like an extremely cool girl, and she's a dancer, and she's, you know, like I think she also worked with Lady Gaga for Abracadabra, like for the video. But yeah, like she has shaped a lot of what we see, you know, in terms of her style. And also, of course, like Charlie XCX, who is also her friend, is her inspiration. She's said that a lot of pop stars are inspirations for her. I do think that Addison is very glam for like a number of reasons. One of them, like one that is like very particular, but that I'm very happy about, is that I feel like she's bringing back heels, you know, like literally wearing heels, because I always see her in heels, like it's, I guess, sort of her brand, and I haven't seen that in a while. Like, of course, a lot of celebrities have been using heels like forever in like red carpets and events, and you know, places like formal events. But I see Addison wearing heels casually a lot, and again, don't get me wrong, like I know that that might not be ideal when it comes to like comfort or even like health. But I don't know, it's like there's something about wearing heels more casually that feels really glamorous, and of course feels really intentional, and Some people might say that that's like trying too hard, but at the same time, I think that if you do it right, it could look great and feel great. And yeah, like for example, there's a look which I'll like put somewhere over here of Addison wearing a t-shirt and like some lycra. Do you say that in English? But like sporty shorts, like mini shorts. The teacher says "Lady fucking Gaga," which is yeah, amazing. And she has, I believe, they are Vivienne Westwood shoes, Vivienne Westwood heels, these red glittery heels with like a bow on the front. And she's just like walking around with her sunglasses. She's probably walking in LA. She's like eating some ice cream. You can tell that like she's just, you know, like out and about. And I love that. Like I like one point that I want to make is that a lot of her outfits are very like deliberate. With a lot of her outfits, I feel like she's not worried to seem like she's trying. Again, like as she said that she's admitted to like try hard. Because yeah, so some of her outfits are like a little bit ridiculous, and I totally don't mean that in a negative sense, but in the sense that most people would not wear that, you know, like would not wear this outfit with like the t-shirt and the mini shorts and heels. And particularly they wouldn't wear it just to like go for an ice cream. But again, like with glamour, like glamour is a lot about being a little bit over the top and not making sense or not making a lot of sense with your style choices, or as Celine put it, confuse, excite, and change the rules. And I feel like Addison does this in this with this outfit. There is also this outfit that she wore to Pilates, that I'll put it here as well, of course, but in it she's wearing like a bandana and sunglasses, and then like a regular like sports top and shorts, but then she's wearing leg warmers. I think that's what they are, and flats, like more like formal flats, I guess. And then she has like this animal print bag, and it's sort of like a completely ridiculous outfit, but I love that. Like I love just like wearing something ridiculous, something that you definitely do not need to wear for Pilates, but it's sort of just because of, you know, the fashion of it all, the glamour of it all, you could say. There is also this image that I found of Addison and her friend and creative director that I mentioned, Lexi. And they are sort of like wearing like matching outfits, but in different colors. It's hard to describe, so I'll put it here. But I mean, as you can see, ridiculous, again, not in a negative way, but in the sense that like most people wouldn't wear that, and most people wouldn't like go out in that. But yeah, like I just loved it. I think it looks very high fashion, no pun intended, because high fashion is one of Addison's songs. But yeah, like very subversive. As Sierra says about glamour, definitely demands attention, and it challenges kind of like the conception of what an outfit for going out is, and would definitely challenge the male gaze. There is also this outfit that she wore in Coachella when she performed with Charlie XCX. That is this, I think it's like a Victoria's Secret, like BS pink vintage jumpsuit that is pink with white polka dots and like a little skirt attached to it. And again, it's basically like the right amount of ridiculous for it to be like campy and glam. And I think it's a very creative choice of outfit. Also because I would have never expected someone to perform in a vintage Victoria's Secret pink jumpsuit, you know. But it works. It works great for her. And something that this outfit reminded me of actually is the aesthetic or like trend that is really popular right now that has been coined as, or I've heard it being coined as whimsy mode. So think like, I mean, polka dots, of course. Like polka dots are everywhere, and I think that they're probably the most defining like trait of this aesthetic. Of course, like 60s and 50s inspiration. Think like Blondita, Lucilla Safdie, Miu Miu. I think Clairo is also one that like a figure that has been, I guess, like a face of this aesthetic. Yeah, basically like this combination of like 50s and 60s styles that are really popular right now, and like this hyper feminine aesthetic. And I think that it's been popularized mainly because of Addison. And again, I think that that aesthetic is very glamorous. I think also Sierra O'Days, one of the girls that I mentioned that made a video about glamour that inspired me to do this video. I think she's like a perfect, like her style is like the perfect example of whimsy mode. So all in all, what I love about Addison is that she really commits to the beat when it comes both to her style and to her music. I think she just has a lot of joy the beaver. I don't know how you pronounce that, but you know what I mean. There's actually a tweet that I saw recently that said something like, one way to tell if someone has joy the beaver is if they like Addison Rae. And I feel like they're completely correct with that statement. But yeah, something also that I love is that Addison seems to combine several references like Lana, Marilyn, Madonna, Britney, Charlie, you know, etc. But somehow she manages to merge all of these inspirations and come out with a style that is uniquely her own as well. And now the next thing that I find extremely glamorous is a very simple but yet important one, I think. And it is either super thin eyebrows, like super skinny eyebrows, or like a unibrow, like a really, really full eyebrow. And it's funny because actually both Sierra and Celine have this. And I think it speaks to just how like innately glamorous they are, right? But yeah, Sierra has a unibrow and Celine has like super thin eyebrows. I believe that she might not have eyebrows at all. Like I think she shaved them, but I'm not completely correct. I think she might like just do them with makeup, but not sure. So don't quote me on that one. But yeah, I mean, I think Sierra is like the only example that I have of someone that has a unibrow. But I think that a great example for like a modern person that has very skinny eyebrows, and I think that it's becoming a trend. I think mainly because of her is Gabriette. There is actually a meme that I'll put right here that is exactly about that. And you know, like this is gonna have a very simple explanation, but the reason why I think this is very glamorous is because I think that having either super skinny brows or a unibrow is purely for, you know, the glam and the fashion of it all. It is definitely not for the male gaze. It defies the male gaze, in fact. And yeah, like it's also very intentional, right? Like it's not something that necessarily seems effortless because there is thought to it. I guess that with the unibrow, like you could say that that is effortless, but I think that if you do it in a way that is high fashion, it actually would not be effortless. It's something that you would, you know, think about doing and, you know, letting them grow and maintaining them. And when it comes to like super skinny brows, you definitely have to be, you know, like maintaining them and yeah, just like drawing them and, you know, making sure they're nice. So yes, it's purely for the aesthetic and very much for the girls, you know. And I guess that that is like a characteristic of glamour, is very much for almost entirely for the girls and gays, I guess. And also very skinny eyebrows remind me of like the old Hollywood starlets, because they used to have that very frequently. So yeah, another thing that I find very glamorous. The next thing that I find incredibly glamorous is colorful eyeshadow and red lipstick. And specifically, like the image that I'm thinking about is usually blue eyeshadow and red lipstick. But in this particular case, like what really inspired me to put this on the list is actually the character of Liesel in the Phoenicians scheme. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but it is Wes Anderson's latest film, which is incredible. If you haven't watched it, I completely recommend it. But yeah, the character of Liesel is a nun or an aspiring. It is an aspiring nun. She is the main character's daughter. And throughout the film, she has like this character development in which like she starts as a nun, right? And then she kind of like becomes closer to her father, and her father is a very wealthy businessman and like a very opulent man. And through him, she starts to get in touch with her like earthly side more, or like she starts to appreciate like earthly delights. And one of the things that she kind of like starts exploring with is with makeup and fashion. And she has this incredible look that like since I saw the film, I've been obsessed with. Like just like the combination of like the non outfit, or like non clothes, and then, you know, like the green eyeshadow and the bright red lipstick, and then she has like some green stockings, some green tights, and then sometimes she has like these pipes that are like decorated with gems. And actually Cartier designed like a rosary for her, and it's like a green was it has green gems, emerald. It's like an emerald rosary. I don't know, it's just like chef's kiss, hair, like costume design, and her makeup in that film. Extremely glamorous. I think that like it does not need an explanation. Just like fits perfectly with the definition of glamour. Now, the next thing that I find extremely glamorous is sort of a funny one, but it is Merkins. And if you don't know what a Merkin is basically a like a fall bush. Like literally what you heard is like a fake pubic hair. And I particularly became obsessed with Merkins since the Galliano for Margiela 2024 artisanal or haute couture collection. There is one look in which the model is wearing a Merkin, which I'll put right here. And I don't know, I think there's something about it that just looks really glam. That looks really high fashion. And again, very subversive as anything glamorous and campy. Definitely like attention grabbing. And yeah, just like completely against the rules and just like completely ridiculous. Like, why would you want to have like fake pubic hair when you actually like we try to hide pubic hair? Like, it's like going out of your way to like not only like not even show your own pubic hair, but like have fake pubic hair. So yeah, just like purely for fun, just like wear a Merkin, you know. Purely for fashion. Now, the fifth thing that I think is super glamorous is Helmut Newton's photographies. And I'll just be like putting some of his photos throughout this video, like this section of the video while I'm talking. And I think, like, needless to say, they're super glamorous. I think, like, yeah, it's just obvious what I mean when I say that his photos are glamorous. They're extremely beautiful, and like I don't know a lot about photography, but I think he's like the best photographer that I've seen that has ever existed. That is a really bold claim. Again, I don't know anything about photography, so anyone who's really into photography, don't come at me. But yeah, I just love his pictures. They're like super mesmerizing. Again, like all of these things, a lot of his pictures are like breaking the rules and like almost shocking. Like, there are some of them that are definitely controversial or have been controversial. I think funnily enough, he is like most well known because of one picture that is of this woman in a suit. And it reminded me of what Celine said about glamour when she says that glamour confuses, excites, and changes the rules, like women wearing a tuxedo with fishnets and stilettos. And that is exactly what we see here with this Helmut Newton picture, right? He also conveys a lot of queerness in his pictures. There's also this picture, I think it's the same woman wearing a tuxedo or a suit. I don't know if that's exactly a tuxedo, but you know, it's a suit. And it was at a time in which like it wasn't super common or not common at all for women to wear suits. I think it was just starting to become a trend. But anyways, here we see this woman kissing another woman who is naked, who is kissing, like the woman in a suit is kissing a naked woman. There's another very famous picture of two women, one of them in a suit, like it's a very like erotic or like sexy picture, but they are like, I don't even know how to explain it, but like they're smoking cigarettes and their cigarettes are sort of like touching. It's also a great picture. But yeah, just like a lot of subversiveness in his pictures, and I think that his pictures convey a very interesting sort of like view or like type of femininity, but one that I really feel like I connect to. And yeah, that is one of the things that I feel like are super glamorous. Again, I don't know if I have a lot to say, but I'll just let you look at the pictures, and I think that they speak for themselves. Now, the sixth and last, but not least, thing that or in this case, person, that I think is extremely glamorous is Eve Babitz, the writer Eve Babitz. And with her, it's not really about her style. Like, we don't really know a lot about her style, I think. There are not many pictures of her. There are some, but not many. It does seem like she had great style, but again, we don't know a lot about it. So it's not necessarily about her like fashion sense, right? But it's definitely about her style in terms of her writing, and I just think that like her spirit and her life was very glamorous. For those of you who don't know about her, and I mean, hopefully you do know about her and have read some of her work because she's amazing. But anyways, for those of you who don't know about her, she again was a writer. She was a writer in the 60s and 70s mainly, or at least she was like a prominent figure in the 60s and 70s. But she died only a few years ago. Actually, I think like a week apart from Joan Didion, and it's like funny because they both were really prominent literary figures at the same time, and they were friends, but also sort of like frenemies as well, or there was like some sort of like competition between them because they were both writers and essayists, and yeah. But yeah, she was like a sort of socialite, I guess, in LA. And actually, she writes a lot about LA, and she writes a lot about her experiences, like in the Hollywood scene during those years. Her parents were like, I think, prominent musicians. So she had a lot of connections, and just to give you some examples, she was the Doors singer Jim Morrison's girlfriend at some point. They say that she is the LA Woman of the song LA Woman. She actually started gaining notoriety because she posed naked with Marcel Duchamp, sorry, like at an exhibition, and she, like, they were playing chess and she was naked, and that's sort of like an iconic picture. She also dated Steve Martin and Harrison Ford at some point as well. She was on the set of The Godfather 2. She would spend her days and nights at the Chateau Marmont. She was basically like the ultimate groupie and socialite in LA during the 60s and 70s. And I mean, again, there's not a lot that I have to say about even why she was glamorous, but I just think that, like, her lifestyle, like, what's more glamorous than LA and Hollywood in the 60s and 70s, and than being a groupie, like a rock and roll groupie in the 60s and 70s, and then to write about your experiences being a groupie and dating these people, and, you know, having all these experiences during these times. And, you know, like, something that I haven't mentioned is that her writing is absolutely amazing. She has the best sense of humor and, like, very sharp wit. So yeah, like, just the combination of all of that, and just her having been, like, super popular in LA, like, she was extremely beautiful, and really, really cool, and she had, like, a super strong personality from what I've read. And yeah, she also, in her writing, had, like, a really great talent for combining like high and low, like pop culture and literature, like intellectualism, which, I mean, I don't know if that would be glamorous, but I feel like it is, you know. Yeah, I guess that glamour also, like, I would say that glamour has this combination of high and low, and that is something that Eve perfectly embodies. So that is all that I have for you guys today. It was like a short and simple video, but I'll come back next week with more. So if you like this video and you want to see more of me, please like and subscribe, and even leave a comment if you feel like it. And yeah, I love you so, so much, and I'll see you next week. I'll see you really soon. Bye.